Manchester City breaking news. Man City identify opportunity to sign the Brazilian superstar. Up next, Newcastle reignite interest in Man City's James Trafford, and Man City make inquiry for Chelsea right back. But first, citizens, make sure to like the video and check your subscription, so you don't miss any updates about the Man City. Every transfer window produces one rumor that feels almost too big to believe this summer. That rumor might be Vini Jr. to Manchester City. Now, before anyone starts imagining him lining up at the Etihad next week, it's important to remember that we're talking about one of the world's most valuable footballers. Real Madrid rarely let players of this level leave willingly. But the fact that Man City are even being linked with a move tells us something important about where the club sees itself after the end of the Guardiola era. Man City are entering a period of transformation. Bernardo Silva and John Stones have left the club. New manager Enzo Maresca is preparing to reshape parts of the squad. While Hugo Viana begins building the next generation of Man City stars, the club isn't simply replacing players anymore, it's redefining its identity. And that's where Vini Jr. becomes fascinating. Tactically, he offers something Man City don't currently possess in abundance. Explosive unpredictability. He's the type of winger who can turn a controlled possession attack into chaos within seconds. Defenders know what he's going to do, yet still struggle to stop him. Imagine the combination of Vini Jr. stretching the left flank, Jeremy Doku attacking from the opposite side, and Erling Haaland occupying central defenders. It would give Man City a completely different attacking dimension. Of course, there are huge obstacles. The transfer fee would likely be astronomical, and Real Madrid remain one of the few clubs capable of resisting almost any offer. But perhaps the biggest takeaway isn't whether Vini Jr. arrives, it's that Man City are still thinking on a superstar level. Even while pursuing key targets like Elliot Anderson and rebuilding important areas of the squad, they're exploring opportunities that could instantly change the balance of power in European football. For Man City fans, that's a reminder that the ambition at the Etihad hasn't disappeared. With Guardiola's departure, if anything, the club appears determined to make an equally powerful statement about the future. My friend Man City fan, Manchester City have to break the bank to bring Vini Jr. to the Etihad? Or should Man City focus on strengthening other areas of the squad? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Not every important transfer story involves a superstar signing. Sometimes, the biggest decisions are about the players a club risks losing, and that's exactly where Manchester City find themselves with James Trafford. The goalkeeper's return to the Etihad last summer felt like the beginning of a homegrown success story. After impressing away from the club, Trafford came back believing he could challenge for the #1 position. Instead, the season unfolded very differently. The arrival of Gianluigi Donnarumma changed the landscape completely. While Trafford was limited largely to domestic cup competitions, he still delivered whenever called upon. Clean sheets at Wembley, composed performances under pressure, and a major contribution to Man City's cup-winning campaign reminded everyone why the club fought to bring him back in the first place. Now Newcastle are back. Reports suggest the Magpies have reopened discussions as they search for a long-term goalkeeper. And from Trafford's perspective, the attraction is obvious. At 23 years old, goalkeepers need matches. Development comes from playing every week, not waiting for opportunities. That's where the dilemma begins. In my view, this isn't simply about a backup goalkeeper. Trafford represents something deeper. He's an academy product, a local success story, and the type of player supporters naturally connect with. His honest comments about feeling appreciated by the fan base only strengthen that bond. Tactically, the situation is also fascinating. Enzo Maresca is preparing to take charge and may have different ideas about his goalkeeping structure than Pep Guardiola did. Trafford's distribution, confidence under pressure, and modern playing style could suit the new manager's approach. The question is whether Trafford is willing to wait for that opportunity, with the World Cup currently occupying his full attention. No immediate decision is expected. But once the tournament ends, one of the most interesting conversations of Man City's summer could begin. Because sometimes the hardest transfer decisions aren't about who arrives, they're about deciding who should stay. So citizens, should Manchester City do everything possible to keep James Trafford? Share your opinion in the comments. One of the more interesting stories emerging from Manchester City's summer rebuild isn't a blockbuster striker or a record-breaking midfielder, it's the search for a right back. And now, a new name has entered the conversation: Chelsea defender Malo Gusto. At first glance, some Man City fans might wonder why the club is even looking in that direction. After all, Matheus Nunes unexpectedly solved a major problem last season. Guardiola's decision to convert him into a right back looked risky at first, but it worked remarkably well. However, when you look deeper, Man City's interest starts to make sense. The reality is that this squad is entering a new era. Pep Guardiola left, Enzo Maresca is arriving, and Hugo Viana is reshaping the team with a future in mind. That means adding specialists rather than relying on improvised solutions. Malo Gusto fits that profile perfectly. The French international is quick, technically secure, aggressive in one-on-one situations, and comfortable operating high up the pitch. Those qualities are crucial in modern possession football, especially in systems where fullbacks are expected to contribute as creators rather than simply defenders. What's particularly interesting is that Man City are not putting all their eggs in one basket. Reports continue to link them with Marco Palestra and Guevara Reed, suggesting the recruitment team is surveying the entire European market before making a final decision. In my analyze, this isn't just about adding depth, it's about understanding how Maresca wants his team to evolve. The pursuit of a natural right-back signals that tactical adjustments are coming. Whether Gusto ultimately arrives or not, the message is clear: Man City are already building the foundations of the post-Guardiola project, and every transfer target is offering clues about what that future will look like. My friend Man City fan, Manchester City continue to explore the right-back market, and Malo Gusto is now one of the most interesting names linked with the club. Would you sign Gusto, stick with Matheus Nunes, or target someone else entirely? Drop your thoughts in the comments. This is the Citizens News Fan channel, and I'll stop here. If you liked it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. A big hug and see you in the next video.